Well, happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to our monthly virtual parent coffee. Thanks so much for jumping in here and joining me in virtual space just for a casual check-in. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully everyone can see my presentation. Just to go ahead and introduce some of the upcoming dates and to tell you a little bit about what's in the works here as we wrap up our first semester and then head into winter break. So we have got, let's see, one second. Let me see a few more people popping in. Hopefully everyone is coming in well here. All right, so dates coming our way. And you know, it's times like this during the year where I think I look ahead and normally we would have a very busy holiday schedule with lots of in-person celebrations and performances. And you know, just due to the world we're living in at this time, we're not able to do that. But you know, hopefully a year out, we'll be having holiday celebrations like we know and love and expect here at the Pine School. But just, you know, to get a little context for what we'll do here as we wind down the semester, we do have an event this Saturday. It is a kindergarten readiness day. And so that is an event we do ask people to sign up for. If any of you happen to know kindergarten age children for next year who might like to come and take a look at the Pine School, send them Beth Lettengarver's way, certainly. Over the next week, we will continue to have our toy drive. And what we ask families to consider doing is to purchase a toy that would be age appropriate for their child. So if you've got a third grader, maybe think about a third grade toy. If you've got you know, a boy or girl, just buying a gift that your child might like, and then that could be what you would donate to the toy drive. We have two organizations that we support, so we you know, split the gifts and try and help out a couple great organizations here locally. One is Natives Helping Natives, and that is an organization run through Hope Sound here. It's led by Harry MacArthur, who some of you might know, Harry and the Natives, and those donations stay right here in Hope Sound and help out some of the families in our area. And then the other organization we help is White Doves. It's a United Way program in Martin County, and that is for toy distribution for families that participate in that program. So both really great. Again, in a typical year, we'd have an opportunity to send our fifth graders who lead that toy drive, you know, to the gift distribution center with United Way. But this year, the fifth grade will be helping with promotion and then also with loading the gifts on the day of. We do hope to have a holiday program for our students here on campus in some way, shape, or form. I imagine we'll have a little bit of streaming, a little bit of a live stream program that will go into classrooms and advisories on December 11th. And then afterwards, we'll have kids bring their gifts so those donations can get picked up. And then for a little silliness and festivity, December 11th, which is the next Spirit Day that's scheduled, we'll invite kids to wear tacky holiday or Christmas sweaters if they've got one. And see if we can't do some socially distanced and safe singing that day, perhaps outside, but still investigating that and making sure that we all feel comfortable with what we'll do. December 17th is going to be the last day for students. It's Thursday and it's a half day. For our middle and upper school students, we'll run a reduced program, and we'll just have G for an hour, a half-hour activity period, and then A and B periods. And you know, definitely count on having an instructional day for students. Would love to see everyone here as we close out the semester. And then as we, and I would also say that during this holiday time, I know that Megan Alvarado and Dorothy Castle are working with their performing arts groups to create some wonderful recordings and some holiday programming. So expect that to come to you virtually as well. And again, just, you know, really hoping that a year out from now, we are celebrating the holidays as we would typically do here at Pine. It's a wonderful time of the year for us. And again, looking for joy and festivity where we can find it. I'll give a little plug here. You can see the italics at the bottom of my slide. Please help us navigate these last few weeks. As those of you with older students know, we are not going to have our traditional review periods and exam times. We just don't feel like it's the right year to have kids, you know, sitting for timed 2-hour exams. And also, you know, knowing that many faculty are looking for alternative ways to assess the learning and growth they've seen all semester long. And I've had some really great philosophical conversations about assessment and what makes the most sense for our students and our coursework here. But I offer all that and then say that, we are navigating this, for the first time. Mr. Tolliver and Mr. Carlson have spent a great deal of energy getting teachers to plan, getting them to schedule what they've got in the works for students alongside their colleagues in the same grade level. So we're trying to spread out the work for students. I'm sure, though, that we're going to hit a few bottlenecks. And I would just really encourage you, if you've got older children and they're finding themselves in one of those bottleneck situations, just, work kind of piling up, to let their teacher know or to speak to an advisor, maybe even Mr. Tolliver or Mr. Carlson, someone who can help be an advocate for them. It is not our intention to, to assess students when they're tired and overwhelmed and don't know how to prioritize their work. That's not at all the environment we're trying to create. So definitely, tune in with your kids and get them to speak up if they need some help navigating the last couple of weeks here as we close out our academic year. And then we're all going to head away. We're going to have a great 2-week break. We will be back January 4th as a faculty and staff for a professional development day. And then on January 5th, we will welcome students for the spring semester. Our next virtual coffee will be January 8th. That's the first Friday in January. And then I do want to put in a little closing plug for an event that is over a month out for us, but the Pine School hosts an annual car show. It's called 100 Years of Cars. And this is an event we have been running for over a decade. We hold it annually and it supports the Patriot Scholarship. So we have a program where we support children here with a scholarship if they're sons or daughters of veterans or active military. So a really worthwhile cause, certainly, and a really fun event. It's all going to be outside. We are crossing our fingers that our front field, our Barada field, is going to be dried out in time for us to have the car show on the field as we did last year. And just know that that will be an outdoor event. We'll, of course, have some protocols set up in support of public health, but imagine that that would be a time when you could come to campus and enjoy some time with our community if you want to. It's an event that is attended by many, many people not connected to the school. So that in and of itself makes it really fun as well. We can show off our beautiful, beautiful campus to people who might not otherwise come. All right, let me keep going with a few other announcements. So just some updates, as I like to here as we check in monthly, I give you a little read of the room or pulse on the community of how we're navigating life amidst COVID-19. And what I can tell you today, certainly an update from the last time we spoke, is that more Pine families and employees are being impacted by COVID-19, either because they've tested positive or they've needed to quarantine because of being a close contact with someone. For the first time, we did have groups of close contacts here on the Pine School campus. And so we've got students and a few faculty members quarantining as an outcome of that this week. And I would just ask all of you to remain vigilant. I think that the best thing this community has done in support of public health for everyone is students and faculty and staff have been great about staying home if they're sick. We really have gotten great compliance in that respect. And so, if you have a child or not feeling well yourself, just taking a moment to follow up as best you should medically and, seeing what that's all about before you, have your child return to the campus. That was really a great choice to make for all of us. And I would, jump down here to the third bullet and say Pine at Home is always an option. It's always an option with parent permission. We did try and rein in our upper school students who were just kind of opting in and out of attending school on any given day. But, with a parent checking in, always happy to have your children join us through Pine at Home. And it's been great to see some families, gauging their own comfort level with this time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I know we had families travel over Thanksgiving. I know we had families see people they don't normally see over the Thanksgiving break. And, depending on your family's unique situation or some of the medical issues or people that you might be responsible for caring for, really can totally appreciate how, how we would want some kids to be home right now. And that's exactly what Pine at Home is intended for. I will also offer to you that I'm working hard to balance privacy for those who are being affected by COVID-19, and then also sharing information our community wants. And so, I'm really trying as best as I can to, in cases where we've got a person who's affected, but not affecting people on this campus. It's just something they're navigating in their personal lives, and really tried to gauge, the privacy they want with them. And I'm not, telling people, oh, if you let me know, this is the communication that is absolutely going to go out. I'm sensitive to that, because really what I want to garner is trust. And I want that trust to be, I want people to trust that they can tell the school what they're navigating medically, and we will keep it confidential as best as we can. And I also want people to trust that if you have a student who is a close contact of anyone here on this campus, if we have a positive case here on this campus and your student would be affected, I will tell you. I will absolutely tell you. And one of the great things that we have the benefit of doing here is we actually can act a little faster than the health department can. If we have a family come forward and say, oh, I need to let you know that, my child is tested positive and they were at school. I mean, that's something that we can immediately start following up on. I am aware that the CDC is recommending a change in their timeline for quarantining. I've seen those news articles. I've seen what's on the CDC's website. What I will tell you is that we are really looking to wait for our local health department to make that change as well. If you read what the CDC is writing, they're basically saying, here are recommendations. Now local health authorities need to determine what's right for their community. And so as I have all along, am really trying to be a good part of the community here in Martin County and the border with Palm Beach County, and support what our public health offices are asking us to do. So just wanted to update you on some of those things here at Pine. But as I've been saying all along, it's really day by day. We're just taking it as it comes, responding as we can, and again, trying to just build that trust for people to tell us what we need to know about what they're navigating medically, and then also getting trust from families that we are all aligned in the same way here. We are all working in support of public health, and I very much want to make sure that every person on this campus, employee and student alike, stays as healthy as possible through through the coming months. So those are the main points I wanted to hit with you. As has become my habit, I've got a great guest to introduce to you. So let me come off my presentation right now. Okay, I'm going to come off my presentation, and I want to introduce to you, if you haven't met her already, Liza Hutchinson, who is a 12th grade Pine School parent, but also the chair of the Pine School's Board of Trustees. And she is here with us this morning, along with Sandra Price, another trustee who leads our Strategic Initiatives Committee. And they are here just to give you an update on activities of the board and some things in the works through that very productive and supportive group. So Liza, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Binney, for having me and Sandra. We are looking forward to sharing some of the things that the board is working on. As Binney said, I am Liza Hutchinson, and I have been on the board for, well, this is my 6th year, and I do have a senior, and Mrs. Pacifica is working very hard at getting her to apply to colleges. I think she's the last kid out of 45 to submit an application. I also have a freshman in college at Lynn University, not too far away. So we wanted to talk a little bit today about what Strategic Initiatives Committee is working on, but just for some background, the board is composed of 20 individuals, and we have parents, we have grandparents, we have alumni, and then members of the outside community. In fact, our alumni member has been just invaluable to us, and he is a graduate of the class of 2012. We're hoping this sets a precedent for more alumni in the future, because those younger voices, they're just really culturally relevant, and he adds a lot. We operate by a committee system, and so we try to utilize everybody's best talents. There is a governance committee, a development committee, a finance committee, a buildings and grounds committee, and a strategic initiatives committee, among others. And today we're going to talk about strategic initiatives, which is chaired by Sandra Price, who is a past parent and also past teacher at the Pine School. You want to wave, Sandra? No, she's nodding, waving. No. There you go. And our focus recently has been on revising the mission statement for the school and also creating a DEIA statement. DEIA stands for Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Access. And it really is good practice every 10 years or so to revisit a school's mission statement and see if it's still pertinent to what the school's mission actually is. I'm going to read you the mission statement. Maybe Binney can put it up for me, and we can all read it, what it stands today and has for, I think, decades. There we go. So the mission of the Pine School is to promote academic excellence within a challenging, supportive, and moral environment that fosters the development of mind, body, and spirit. And there's nothing intrinsically wrong with this statement at all. In and of itself, it's a very positive statement, but we feel it's somewhat vague to what really the Pine School is about. You know, we have a unique school, and if you look at this and you took out the word Pine School, it might be any college preparatory independent school around. So we really are working on revising it. And to that end, we are engaging lots of different groups in the school, and we're doing that by surveying. We've developed a mission statement survey, and Binney has given it to the faculty, I think, before Thanksgiving break. And then the trustees, we took the survey at our November board meeting. But besides those folks, we will have administration and staff, and then the greater TPS community. But what I wanted to say about the mission statement is that it's so important. It just, everything and every decision we make as a board should be compared to the mission statement. It should help us make decisions as a board and as a school. It should be the litmus test for any options we face if we're trying to decide something. And I don't feel that this statement really gives us those guiding principles. And so that's what we're going for. So as I said, we've taken steps to include the greater community in the revision of the statement. And everybody will be taking the survey, including parents and kids, right, Sandra?
Mm-hmm.
Students?
Yeah. Oh, you're muted, Sandra.
Binney and I are still working that out, but we're hopeful that we can involve at least 7th graders through upper school. We're probably going to do that during their advisory time. Our committee meets again this afternoon to revise the survey. And so this is an ongoing developing process.
Right. Great. And of course, we'll involve the parent body. And we're also hoping maybe we could get some smaller discussion groups, maybe over Zoom, and get parent input. And I would appreciate any comments today as you see fit, because it helps us. In the same way we're revising the mission statement, we are creating a DEIA statement. And we feel, and we've always felt, not just today's culture, that every student at the Pine School should feel safe and supported. And we want to be a welcoming place to all kinds of different kids, different learners. And so to that end, we are developing this statement, and it's just timely. But it's also important to the school as a whole, in the sense that, you know, these kids will be going out and leaving the Pine School and entering a global environment, and they need to be ready to face differences. So that's really our goal with that. and we are going to do create a draft statement of a DEI, and we will share that with the larger community. Both these statements will probably be presented by the end of the year. We want to go into 2021, 2022 with, our mission statement emblazoned on our website. If you try to find the mission statement now, you really have to dig. Not that you want to find it, I just read it to you, but you have to go into the about section and dig. But I think it would be really great to, when we log on to the Pine School website, that our mission is there and it's clear, and it tells about our uniqueness. So anyway, these will be on the website, but they'll also be in the handbook, and that's really the extent of what we're doing right now. I don't know if, Sandra, you want to add anything that I missed?
No, I think you've done a great job. I would just say that not only it guides, the mission statement will guide our marketing, it will guide our educational decisions, all of the things that intrinsically make the Pine School what it is. And that, as Liza said, it's going to be our litmus test, and we will compare everything that we do against that mission statement. Mm-hmm. And you will be getting a survey before too long, because we definitely want parent input on this. So I would invite those of you on the call to be thinking about what are the things to you that make the Pine School stand out for your student and for yourself, both educationally, in terms of our academic program, our values education program, our community feel, the individualized learning that we do with students, the relationships that your students have with their parents. So be thinking about those, because all of those will be questions on the survey. So thank you.
Thanks. So are there any questions about this? I mean, I would welcome any questions if somebody wants to come off mute and ask while Sandra and I are here. Okay.
Thank you someone coming off mute to say something. Thank you both so much for coming and talking to parents a little bit about this. I think there's often a veil, just wondering, well, what does the board do? And what is it really trying to do in support of the school? And hopefully from what Liza and Sandra have shared, you can appreciate that, the school counts on the board of trustees for long range planning and really visionary work, and to come along and push us and to say, no, let's get critical about our mission statement. What are we really about at the Pine School? And it's, academic excellence to me, that's a given, right? When we are making an investment like we are here, having our children at the Pine School, we expect academic excellence, but I think what we get at Pine is so much more that makes the experience unique. I can give you an example that's come up through the pandemic, that is a little bit of like a framing decision, I guess, that the mission statement I think we ultimately see adopted by the board will help us with. I've had a couple of people say to me, well, this is so great, this online learning, and can you ever see the Pine School wanting to brand its curriculum and offer online courses to students who might not even be here, and take this Pine at Home idea you've got and really grow it? And it makes me pause. And I say, as appealing as that is, it doesn't feel to me like that's part of the mission of the Pine School. I mean, we're here on this absolutely spectacular campus in these gorgeous buildings, in the midst of adding over 20,000 square feet to our footprint here. And I think you would all agree that a lot of what happens educationally for your children is connected to the space they come to every day for that learning. And so that's a decision that is, it feels right for our community. Right now, there's nothing in our mission statement that necessarily talks about the space where we come to learn, or how we take care of our campus, or connect our campus with our curriculum. I don't know if that ultimately will end up in the mission statement, but that is an example of, sort of like a more, fundamental or guiding decision that comes up when you're thinking about where you're taking a school over the next few years, or even into the next decade. So I thought I would just offer that one to help you all see some of the bigger strategic decisions that come up from time to time, and to help you appreciate how we would love to have a mission statement that doesn't feel generic but feels uniquely Pine.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say I totally agree with that. I think the environment is so crucial. That beautiful place
Yeah,
such a huge part in why we came to Pine.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is just our second year, and it's just been weird. Last year I was new, and now I'm seeing you all on screens.
yeah.
Right.
The one question I did have for Liza or Sandra is what prompted this idea to shift the mission statement in general? And has it just been, since I'm new, I don't know the background, the slow build and.
Well, every 10 years, we need to, by Florida Council of Independent Schools requires that you re-examine your mission statement.
Oh, okay.
And it's also something that we as a school needed to do. I mean, it's out of date. And it was, I think, adopted by a headmaster 3 headmasters ago, or head of schools ago. The lingo has changed, but and that's what has prompted us. And also because we realize now that we're united on one campus, that our school has changed a bit, and we really want a statement that reflects who we are as the Pine School and is less generic. Because in this day and age that's so competitive in the marketplace for independent schools, we need to be able to stand out.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for
Absolutely.
that.
And I believe we do stand out. And so having a mission statement that reflects that is, I think it's going to really help us. And I to your point, Sandra, this mission statement, I think it predates our first high school graduating class.
It does.
So yeah. So
I was around.
Yeah. And so again, like Sandra was saying, so much has changed about the Pine School since this mission statement was written. And you can tell, I mean, it's lovely. There's nothing in our mission statement right now that anyone would take issue with. Of course, we want academic excellence, and we want a challenging, supportive, and moral environment. And of course, we're about fostering the development of mind, body, and spirit. But what does that mean? And really more particularly, what does that mean uniquely when you attend the Pine School? And so it pushes us to be very specific about what we're doing here every single day with the children we're fortunate enough to get to educate. Other comments or thoughts?
I'll just say again, I think it's a great thing, because honestly, I don't think I saw the mission statement. No, I knew about Pine. I knew from driving by that there was this beautiful place up on down that road.
Yeah.
So I really can't say enough how important I think that the physical environment has to be something that's part of the mission statement.
Yeah.
And I also think moving from the Northeast to Florida, one of the things I found having my boys, we've been here for 4 years and we've been to 3 schools. Benjamin, my oldest is at Oxbridge, and my Sloan is at Pine with you guys, 9th grade. I've never experienced so much gossip in the parental community amongst these private schools.
Yeah.
The parents, just this flippant, free-flying, overarching things about this school's like this and this school's like this. Just I was kind of taken aback by that, and I think that one of the things that will be helpful here is that to help harness what is so unique, and not to arm us because we're going out against the gossip train, but to really have something special and unique to spread around in the positive gossipy way.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying.
We do. We
being
call
a
it
new person and adjusting to life in Florida, and just so much information coming at you, but that would be I think a great thing for everyone.
I think we have to call it the elevator speech.
Sure. Yes.
What can you say to someone in a minute and a half that really gets to the essence of the Pine School?
Right. Yeah. Or how to squash that, one person that heard something negative, and it's actually, let me easily flip that around and show you why.
That's a great point. And I think, for us too, a big piece of it is getting it written down, having that tangible thing that we can turn to. I would say that having that tangible statement to turn to is a big part of why the diversity, equity, inclusion, and access statement will come along with the mission statement. All of us who are here working at the Pine School, many of us who have, children here at the Pine School, we know about the values education we want to provide to children. We know about how we want to see every student on this campus feeling safe and supported. But when you're questioned about that, or when you've got a child who maybe hasn't had that experience, or a family that's wondering, well, what is your orientation about issues around diversity and inclusion, to be able to say, well, this explains what we do, right? To have a reference point you can turn to. And I think at the end of it all, it's going to be really powerful and helpful to the school.